The morning sunlight spilled through the wide glass windows of Harbor-Line Café, casting warm golden reflections across polished wooden floors and clinking porcelain cups. No one noticed the moment the sleek black Rolls-Royce stopped across the street, or the man who stepped out wearing a tailored charcoal suit that screamed power and authority. Billionaire tech mogul Adrian Kessler was not known for slowing down, let alone visiting small-town cafes during his tightly scheduled business tour. But something through the cafe window made him freeze mid-step, something so unexpected that it quietly pulled him away from his empire and into a moment that would change 3 lives forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness and second chances still exist in this world, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories. Your support keeps these emotional and inspiring stories alive. Inside the cafe, the gentle hum of daytime chatter mixed with the aroma of fresh coffee and warm pastries. At the far corner table sat an elderly man slumped slightly in his chair, his frail body supported by medical braces and a specialized wheelchair parked beside him. His hands trembled with limited control, and his eyes, though faded with age and illness, carried a quiet dignity. Kneeling beside him was a young waitress named Marina Velez, carefully spoon-feeding him a bowl of soup while balancing a tray of unfinished orders on the nearby counter. Her apron showed faint stains from hours of non-stop service, and her hair was loosely tied, strands falling around her tired but determined face. Customers glanced occasionally, some with sympathy, others with impatience, but Marina remained focused entirely on the elderly man, offering gentle encouragement through warm gestures and soft patience. Marina's life had never offered comfort or shortcuts. At 26, she worked double shifts to support her younger brother, who required ongoing medical treatment after a severe childhood accident. Their parents had passed years earlier, leaving Marina to juggle bills, hospital visits, and a fragile dream of someday finishing her nursing education. She had met the elderly man, Harold Kessler, weeks earlier when he wandered into the cafe with the help of a taxi driver who explained he had no caregiver and struggled to eat independently. Since then, Marina quietly fed him during her breaks, refusing any payment, offering help simply because she saw a lonely man who reminded her of the father she had lost. Outside, Adrian Kessler stood frozen as realization crashed over him. The man inside was his estranged father, Harold, whom he had not visited in nearly 3 years. Their relationship had fractured when Adrian buried himself in global expansion deals, believing wealth could compensate for absence. His father had quietly slipped into declining health, while Adrian built skyscrapers and dominated markets, convincing himself his success was proof of honoring family sacrifices. Seeing a stranger offer his father, the compassion he had failed to give shattered the protective walls around his pride. Adrian slowly entered the cafe, unnoticed by most, but every step felt heavier with guilt and disbelief. He watched Marina carefully wipe Harold's mouth with a napkin, adjust his blanket, and patiently wait for each swallow without rushing. The scene carried a quiet tenderness that wealth could never purchase. As he approached, Marina instinctively stepped back, assuming he was another busy customer, unaware she stood before one of the wealthiest men in the country. Adrian observed the weariness in her posture, the exhaustion hidden behind her determined care, and something unfamiliar stirred inside him: humility. Over the next hour, Adrian sat silently, watching Marina return to serve customers, refill drinks, and rush between tables before returning to feed Harold again during each spare moment. He learned from the cafe manager about Marina's situation, her sacrifices, and her quiet refusal to accept charity from anyone. Adrian's heart wrestled with regret as he realized that while he had funded advanced medical research centers worldwide, he had neglected the one person who once held his hand through childhood fears and failures. When Harold finally recognized his son sitting nearby, emotion filled the elderly man's fatting eyes. Adrian knelt beside him, overwhelmed by a wave of remorse and gratitude. In that moment, he made a decision that would reshape his priorities forever. Adrian arranged immediate full-time medical care for his father, not as an act of obligation, but as a promise to reclaim the bond he had nearly lost. But what Marina never expected was Adrian's next step. Instead of offering her a simple reward, Adrian quietly funded Marina's complete nursing education, ensured her brother received advanced rehabilitation care, and offered her a position within one of his foundation's newly launched patient care programs designed to support families struggling with long-term disabilities. Marina's world shifted not because she sought recognition, but because her compassion inspired a man powerful enough to create lasting change. Weeks later, Harbor Line Café buzzed with its usual daytime rhythm, but Marina visited occasionally, now wearing nursing scrubs instead of an apron. Harold, healthier and surrounded by professional caregivers, often smiled proudly whenever she stopped by, knowing her kindness had reunited him with his son and healed wounds deeper than illness. If this story touched your heart or reminded you how small acts of kindness can create life-changing ripples, please like, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories to help spread these powerful messages further. Speech Balloon Special Request. Comment below with the word kindness if you believe one compassionate moment can truly change someone's destiny.